Hey guys, what's up? It's Walking and Draws. I'm back again with another process video showing me shading a sketch with graphite. And right now I'm just lightening up the image, lightening up the pencil marks because you don't want harsh pencil marks showing through when you're shading. And you kind of have like a thin line of, you want to lighten the sketch, but you also want to be able to still see what you did before. And then right now I start shading off the eye. And I always usually start with the eye, whether I'm doing the sketch or shading or a colored pencil. I usually always start out with the eye. It's just a great starting point. Today I'm drawing Pierre, aka PeeWeeDaPlug, from Through the Wire. It's a podcast, I'd say an NBA podcast. Sometimes they talk about other things too, but they mostly focus on the NBA and basketball. And, he also does the podcast with three other guys named Kenny, Derek, and Mike. And Kenny and Pierre, they have their separate channels that they do from the podcast. And I just really enjoy watching the podcast and watching their separate channels. And it's just a lot of fun, I think back in 2015 when the Warriors were going on their run, I just really enjoyed how the Warriors were playing basketball. They play team basketball and they always move the ball around. It's never sticking in one person's hands for too long most of the time. And their main guys, they brought them up in the draft. They didn't get them in free agency or trade for them most of the time. They mostly build their team through the draft. And, well, the obvious, they chuck up threes. I mean, they were chucking up threes when no one else was, so I love the Warriors. That's my team. Call me a bandwagon or whatever, but yeah, I'm a fan of the Warriors, and, but I will say I did keep up with them even when they went on, 15-win season a couple seasons ago when everyone's injured. I still rocked with them, you gotta get through tough times. But no, I'm not back from the Baron Davis days and the We Believed days. I didn't watch basketball in general back then, so I couldn't have been rooting for any team. But I root for the Warriors, and I would say for the past 3 years, I've just become a NBA fan in general, just enjoying the game of basketball, and I keep up with a lot of different things, free agency, trades, different off-season things, and the draft. And these guys are just a great way to get involved in that, keep up with different things, because keeping up with the NBA is tough. There's a lot of different things going on. And so yeah, I just really enjoy their podcasts. I enjoy Pierre's videos and Kenny's videos. Right here I'm using a piece of paper underneath my hand because I don't want to smudge the drawing and my hand slides over it. And I do this all of the time. Usually I kind of stay away from it at the beginning of the drawing because it doesn't really matter and it's kind of uncomfortable just to have a random piece of paper underneath your hand. But once it gets to a certain part of the drawing, I start using the piece of paper to help me so I don't smudge the drawing. And today I'm using the Faber-Castell graphite pencils again. When I not first started out, but I mainly used to use the Prismacolor graphite pencils, and I really like those. And I think I said before in another video that when it was my first time using it, I really liked Faber-Castell pencils, and I thought they were pretty similar to Prismacolor. But now that I've used it now for I don't know, it's been only the 4th or 5th time, but it's just more experience. I still like them, but I think the graphite is harder to spread than the Prismacolor. And what I mean by that, when I'm using the blending stump, it doesn't spread as well, which I'm ending up using more graphite to go throughout the drawing than I would with Prismacolor. Because the Prismacolors, you can kind of you could really shade one area with the Prismacolor pencil, and then when you use the blending stump, you can spread it out over a large area. With the Faber-Castells, they just don't spread as well, and I ended up seeing more dark lines just because I'm trying to lay down the graphite, and it just doesn't work as well. So obviously I'm going to keep using the Faber-Castell pencils. I bought them. I'm going to use them for some illustrations, but I just don't think that I would buy them again just because they don't work as well to me. I just prefer Prismacolor over Faber-Castell for this. But I am looking forward to eventually trying out their colored pencils, which I also understand is a little bit different. I think people like the texture of the Prismacolors, but from my understanding, I think Faber-Castells have a smoother look to it. So in the future, I may try those out and see which ones I like best. But for graphite pencils, I say Prismacolors over Faber-Castells. Well guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and the finished piece and the reference photo will be on my Instagram. My Instagram is Walking and Draws, and my Twitter is Walking and Draws YT for YouTube. And link to all my socials is in the bio in the description. Have a very blessed Sunday, and bye.